I thought it was a good weekend. I mean, I think after the first game, kind of getting the jitters out of specifically our pitchers, just being in that moment with our crowd, which is a great crowd and a great environment. But just them being able to settle in, I think it took them a little bit longer than we had anticipated. But, the first game, after any game, as a coach, you want, especially if you're behind, you want an opportunity to win the game in the end. And we had the opportunity to win the game in the end. Just didn't come through at that point. Then we had Texas the next day, obviously a very good team. But we were able to pitch all of our pitchers in the first two games, kind of get the nerves out, and then settled in for the last three games. And I think they did a really good job coming out, throwing strikes. And then our defense played great behind them. And then we were able to manufacture some runs to be able to pull out some victories. So overall, it was good.
Someone asked me in the morning what you think. I said, one weekend, I don't know anything about the team. We know certain things. Did you learn anything that you hadn't seen in inter-squad scrimmages? What was the thing you think you kind of learned, or any kind of assessments that you learned this from 1 week?
Well, I was impressed really with our defense, specifically, really all of our defense, but specifically the middle infield of being able to turn double plays, and because that's a rally killer for the other team. And our pitching too, like Sam Ryan coming in there and just going after hitters and doing such a great job. I mean, she was here last year, didn't have a lot of experience, but she had her first complete game, which was exciting. And again, I think that gives her confidence. But seeing her, and then the freshman Mallory Wheeler, taking the ball, she just had a different look in her eye. That was really exciting to see, because I think she wants the ball and just goes after hitters. So, again, you can learn something in scrimmages and practices, but when you get between the lines, when it really counts, you learn a lot about your athletes. And I was excited about what I learned this weekend.
We're kind of used over the last, really not just the last 6 years, even further back than that, where pitcher might go 1 or 2 innings and then they're out the game and someone else is in the game. We didn't see a lot of that. Was that an opening weekend philosophy? Is that a Shelby philosophy, an Alley philosophy, or both of y'all? Or is that, do you foresee that happening a lot more during the regular season?
I mean, I hope it does, because if a pitcher's doing well, I want to keep her in there. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like the rhythm of the game. She's throwing strikes, getting some mishits. We're playing good defense. That I want to keep it the way it is. I'm not going to change it until it's broke, or we're having an issue, or maybe they're having a rally or something like that. But yeah, when the starting pitcher, she can finish the game, I want her to finish the game.
And that's 100 pitches. I know it's not baseball, but 2 of them threw 100 pitches. And that's all good and all.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you start getting to the 120s, 30s, 40s, then yeah, the pitch count makes a difference. Specifically which pitcher it is, and how her arm's feeling and all that. But, we ask them every inning, how do you feel? And how's your arm feel? How's your body feel? And they're feeling good, then we're going to keep going.
What was the thing you kind of said, what was the thing that maybe is the biggest concern? Is I'm not sure it's injury at this point, but is there anything that y'all didn't do maybe as good as you thought y'all were going to do besides the nerves?
Yeah, really not much. I mean, I think, again, I love when we're able to put athletes in big situations, like the game's on the line and you get an at bat. Yeah, you might not come through, but just being in that position, for Ferguson, Michaela Ferguson, to come in there, hadn't got a lot of playing time, still very antsy, just for her to get in there and just play some first base, play some third base, and get some at bats. I think anytime they have the opportunity to be in game moments, it gives them that experience, so that next time they're in that situation, they're able to just be more calm and hopefully come through.
When do you think you're going to know about that?
We have a doctor's appointment today, so we should know a little more today. So hopefully it's good news.
Bethany had some bad luck. There was a bloop that didn't go your way, a call that didn't go your way. What about her moving forward?
Yeah, I think she's going to be great. I really do. I mean, I think she wasn't afraid, and I agree. I think, one call goes her way or one pop up, we don't drop, or it's the game of softball, right? I mean, it's a game of inches. But mentally, though, she wants it, and she's just an athlete. She's a pitcher who really hasn't had this kind of experience, but I think she relishes in it. She loves her teammates. She's excited every game, and she wants the ball, wants to be out there. So she's good, and I'm really excited to put her out there again this weekend.
What did you think about the atmosphere of the home crowd, especially after winning your first game as head coach?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, you can't really describe that in words. I mean, just the Cajun culture, the fans, and they get softball. That's another thing, is they understand the game. They know when to cheer. They know when not to cheer. They know when to get on an umpire and when not to get on an umpire. They get the game. I mean, they are well-seasoned fans, and I love that they're invested. I love that they care. But the welcome specifically, personally, that they give me, it's just hard to put in words. It's special, and I so appreciate it every time I'm out there and somebody says welcome home or I'm glad you came home. It just makes me, very heartwarming and just very honored to be here, and I want to make them proud.
What about the coach this weekend? I mean, y'all have all been in dugouts together, but not as this collection of coaches. So what about just the mechanics of the games and how everybody's doing? How did all that go for the first weekend?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was a learning process because we only have one opening, first of all. And we're all trying to fit in that little one opening to try to figure out, Coach Shelley's trying to do the outfield and Coach Lacey's with the infield and Shelby with the pitcher and, just trying to, and then of course our players want to all be there to cheer on everybody. So really just to know where your place is in the dugout. But as far as the coaching piece, we're always near each other to talk to each other and talk through game strategy of what we want to do now or what might be an opportunity to do something here. And but overall, it was good. But it was a learning curve for sure of where we are and kind of just placement, really.
What's the next what's the next step? Like, what are you hoping to see this weekend that maybe even a little more than this first weekend?
Just more competitive, again, I think once the nerves are out and you feel like, okay, I can just go play, now it's just taking it to people. Like I felt like in games that we could have put people away, we kind of let them hang around. Like we put up 7 runs maybe in the first inning and then goose eggs the next 3 and don't score again until maybe the 5th or 6th. So just that mentality of if we can put somebody away and end the game in 4.5 innings, then let's do that because then we save our pitching. So more of like a competitive spirit in the sense of let's go and take it to people and have that swag about us.
So we're, old school bunt or lose mentality baseball thing. So we're getting used to the small ball thing here. So the level of that, there were times where you executed perfectly. There were other times where you had lead off triples and then didn't score. So what is your expectation in terms of what is a good weekend in terms of percentage of execution? Was that not quite as good? How would you assess it?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably average. I mean, obviously when it comes to execution, the bigger the game, the better the execution has to be. So, and you have to know your artillery, like what kids are up to bat and who can do that. So there were a couple of times where I felt like on like a squeeze play, maybe the bunt got down, but it was right next to the catcher. So we just need to execute a little bit better on that. But I mean, like somebody like Laney Crater, who comes up and does a slap and run with the runner at third. And fans probably didn't even realize that, but she actually slapped. She ran through the box and slapped. Ground ball to second base. It's like a squeeze play. I mean, she's still in home. So she doesn't get it down or pops it up. It's a double play or she's out. But right to shortstop and well executed, Same thing with Sis. Sis did the same thing with the squeeze, just executed it. They both had 3 RBIs yesterday, on an execution and a base hit, 3 RBIs. So, I mean, those kind of things that's exciting. And it's exciting for our hitters too, because for those 2 hitters to do that, I think it makes everybody else excited that I can do that too. We can score, we can hit a home run, we can hit a gap, or we can do a slap and run or a squeeze. So there's just a lot of different ways to score, and it's exciting for us. I hope it's exciting for the fans.
So which coach is responsible for keeping Emily healthy?
Well, yesterday she came out, it's Sunday. Of course, you have Saturday was a long day when you're not in tournament shape yet, when you're playing double headers and they're out there the whole day, and it can be, especially if you have some ailments or some injuries or, things like that. We want to Sunday's a tough day. So with someone like Emily who has this ailing kind of injury that keeps kind of coming up, it's flaring up, and I don't really want to put her in a situation where we don't really need her to come through, and she takes one step and then she's back out for 2 weeks. I didn't want to do that. So, yeah, we need her in the lineup, but we also want to be smart in how we use her in the lineup.